Hello guys, Zueljin here and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Indoors. Today we're going to look at this elegant home office study, or a small library that some people would call it. Very little books in here enough to call it a library, but I think a study would do a good term for it. So this doesn't have a much color variation, but there is a lot of different texture that we can throw into this, along with a lot of dark wood. If we take a look at the scenery here, we're looking at two bookshelves. One is significantly smaller than the other. If you look at the bookshelf on the left, there's kind of two in that place, and then on the right we only see one. Now I'm led to believe that maybe that's due to the fact that the room is actually off-sized like that, or there's another one that we can't see to the right. But just to make it interesting, we're actually going to do the off-center thing. We're actually going to go with even numbers. So let's look at textures here. We're going to need dark oak wood, logs for the floor, and we're probably going to use dark oak for the furniture. We can use spruce or maybe acacia for the walls. And we're going to, for the fireplace, it's going to be kind of neat. Naturally, we're going to have to turn fire tick off. Let's use bedrock for the fireplace and try to get some stuff going. And we'll figure out the desk and some of the decorations later. So let's see. We'll start with the floor here. Now, if we look at the spacing, we're going to need at least 4 for the left shelf because of the two cabinets. And in order to section that off, actually, we're probably going to need... that's going to be really difficult to do. We might not need a center at all. We might just go with 6 there. I think that might be, well, if we go with 5, let's see. Okay, let's just place it down, shall we? So we're going to have the 4 doors for the cabinet. So let's do 4, and then let's do the fireplace is going to be 4 as well, and then the next one is going to be 2. So that's 10 wide. So we can start with 10 wide here. And I think we should be able to do that. Let's just make... Okay, and we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more will be 10. Alright, so now we have the log stretched out here, and as far as length goes, there's going to be enough space for a 4 wide couch. And it looks like the desk might be 4 as well, so we don't need to go too deep yet. Let's go 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and we'll go this all the way down. That way we'll have enough room to kind of branch off. Now there's a portion of the room, as always, that we don't see, so we're going to have to be a little creative with that. But I'm pretty sure that we can figure out what to do there. Okay, so at the end of the room, let's do that first end of the room that we see right now. And this is going to be the bookshelves area. So if we took the doors and stood them up, let's see. It's going to look a little tall unless we do them underneath the floor, kind of. So if we were to do something like this, that would make one of the cabinet doors. That would also make one of the cabinet doors. And then we can do 2 more. So just like that. Actually, there we go. And it looks as though the fireplace would come out then. So the fireplace would have to be here, which means we're going to have to lengthen up this process anyway. I guess I should have did that on the first rip. Let's make it one longer here. So the fireplace looks like, what is the fireplace going to consist of here? We have to do the fireplace. We could do the fireplace 3 wide, but that's not going to look good. We could go 5 and make it a little bit wider. That way there's a 3 wide opening. We're actually going to use bedrock for this because bedrock translates pretty well in this resource pack, which is Soartex Fanware, by the way. And it's going to have to show, so we're going to go ahead and go with the 3 right here. And 5 looks like it might be the right width. The strange thing about that is there's actually that wood outlay for that, so we might need to do that differently as well. It's not going to translate well unless we make it too high, and then the center would only be 1 opening, so we can't do it like that. I was thinking about using stairs for that, but honestly it's going to have to be wider to do that. So let's take spruce and acacia. Let's look at the wood types. We have jungle. Acacia is a little bit more red, kind of like a cherry color, and spruce is a little bit more brown. So if we took this red and this brown. Let's see. The red actually resembles the color of the wood a little bit more. I don't know how it's going to look as far as the contrast for the different colors, but we're going to bring it up here. So let's bring up 3. The problem is it's going to really make it large looking. I mean, considerably large. Maybe we should just do the stairs. Okay, let's try it. Let's try the stairs out. We're going to go with acacia wood stairs. And we're just going to make a 2 wide opening like this. So I could say kind of like this, okay? And then we can come across with slabs. And I think that is going to be the best choice here. And let me just get a bracing block so that I can connect it all up. Very good. Okay, so now if we really don't need, at the bottom, we don't need anything showing. So we can actually do this and make it a little bit smaller. There's the bedrock bottom there. And then if we did bedrock here and here, from the outside it would show there, and then we can come off like this. Well, actually, we would have to come out with slabs. Let's look at acacia wood slabs. All right. I'm still not in love with the fact that this is acacia, but so this would be like the fireplace itself, right? And the bad thing about that is there's so much that's it just doesn't translate as far as colors go. I really don't know what to think about this. Okay, well, we have the wood around. Maybe we should just do it all blocks instead. And I think I'm gonna go with spruce. Even though the acacia is more of a match to the color, I think spruce is going to look better with the build entirely. So we won't be able to do the outlay. We'll just be able to see the inside. And I think that's gonna suffice, to tell you the truth, because honestly, I don't want it to look so it's hard to explain, but I don't want it to look so big. And if we had the trim around the inner portion of the fireplace, then we would have to go at least 6 wide to encompass 2 for the spacing of the fire, 4 for the spacing of the bedrock, and then 6 for the spacing of the wood. So I think that's where we're gonna draw the line there. Let's grab some spruce, and we're gonna make the little cap that we see here, like the mantle. And what we could do is we could kind of make it come out like this. That way we see a portion of the mantle. And I think that's probably the best bet there. That gives us a little bit of both worlds in there. Let's throw some nether brick in here, some nether rack, I should say, and get the flint and steel ready and light this puppy on fire. And that way we'll know what we're dealing with, and we'll also turn off fire tick, which I think I have game mode, game rule, do daylight cycle, do fire tick, false. There we go. And now no fire tick can happen. So if I put the nether rack here and I put the fire here, that pretty much does a solid job of it. Okay, so we would have to close in the back. I'm not going to do this right now because it's going to make a lot of noise, but you get my drift. Okay, and we'll close this off, and this will be ready to go. Okay, so we've got the fireplace. Next, we need another bookshelf, which we went a little bit wider here. So let's go ahead and make it 1 more wide, and then it looks like there's some spacing on the side of it. So let's go ahead and make it 1 more wide, but this will probably be the extent of where the wall ends. So we'll do the 2 doors here, and there we go. Just in case. Yep, there we go. There's the 2 doors, so that's the bookshelf, and then is going to be the spacing. All right, so this looks pretty much like we wanted. Okay, let's bring this up a little bit. We're gonna have to use the spruce for the walls now, the entirety of the walls. And I don't know if spruce doors would look that good in place of these dark oak wood doors, but it's worth a try. Let's look at spruce. Let's take the doors. I think they're gonna look a little bit country. Actually, that works pretty good, and it matches well with the door type, so let's go ahead and use those instead. And we're going to do this as well. We could have made it all dark, but let's just face it, when we start adding the furniture and stuff in, and if there's too much dark, it's going to be too rough looking. Okay, so at the top we have some shelves, it looks like, and the weird thing about shelves in this game is that they have to be like, you pretty much have to make them inset. So if we would make the shelves like so, we could do it like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, the shelves are probably twice as tall as the fireplace. So without going real tall, I think that's going to be the extent of it right there. And we'll just block that off right there. So to make shelves look correct, let's go ahead and put this all back here. And I think actually, if we were to use bookshelves right here, it would actually look much better. Let's try that out. Let's try bookshelves. And these are a very, very nice bookshelf texture. They go well with the spruce, which is kind of what I was hoping for. And then we can take something like the brown wool or carpet, and we can cover up just like this. So the shelving will still be pretty much true. And now we can take the rest of the wood and kind of surround it. Although, if we had wood as the corner of the house or the room here, then we could probably just extend the carpet out just like so and actually come a little bit more true to what the image is showing. Okay, so we could bring this up. The bookshelf looks a little bit wider and the fireplace looks a little bit smaller because of the design that we chose, but the bookshelf looks a little bit more true to life. And then if we change these out to actual bookshelves, it'll look a lot more study like, just like so. Nice. Okay, so what we would need to do here is pretty much, I don't know, what this should be done is probably like so. And honestly, if we're really looking at it like so, we should probably do the slabs. So let's try the slabs out just to give it a little bit more dimension, and hopefully that doesn't create any bad lighting glitches. Yeah, we should be fine with that. Okay, so there's a little bit of spacing above there, and then honestly we should probably do quartz right here because the roof is white. So if we want that half slab roof, we've got to go with quartz. Or the ceiling, I should say. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. It shows that there's a little dimension right there, and yeah, that should be good. Okay, so let's do the same thing for the other side. So we'll come across with 2. Yeah, 2 is going to be the magic number for here as well. We're going to bring up the side, which this has to be the room corner. So I'm thinking the spacing is not going to be a thing here. We're just gonna close it in right now. And in the back, we're gonna do the bookshelves like we did the other one. And I think we just went with spruce right there. Yep, we sure did. I'm not too sure if I like that design. Looking at it on both ways, I'll have to put some more ceiling in, I think, to really be able to tell. Okay, and we're gonna lay this backsplash here. And that's going to kind of give it some dimension, kind of like the photo is. So the next part, we're going to have to put the shelves just like this, just like we did on the last one. And now the shelving, the actual wall is kind of where it's supposed to be. Now we don't really have those statues that we can put in there, but we can put like flower pots or something else obscure. So how about, let's look at flower pots. And if we do a flower pot and maybe, I don't think a brewing stand is going to hold up that well right here, but let's just put it in there for giggles. That is kind of statuous. Maybe we should do just the flower pots. I think that would be a little bit more elegant looking. We'll search for 2 different types of flowers. I guess we can do let's go to the decoration blocks here. We can do an orange tulip, which will match pretty good, and maybe I don't want to do a blue orchid. We can do a poppy. Or you know what, let's just do 2 orange tulips. That way it's a little bit There we go. Now it's kind of ornamental because they are matching images type kind of in the photo. Okay, so now that we have that in place, we can probably move on to the next section. And that's going to look like furniture, I suppose. Now, this section in the middle here, it looks like it starts very, very close to the wall, but we don't want to make it too close. So if we were to do it 2 away, it would kind of end up like this. And what we will do is, I guess, let's see, this is a 4 wide couch, and they really don't have any arms on it, but it doesn't look like much of a couch if I don't include that in the build. So if we did it like that, that looks maybe a little bit too wide. Does this look too narrow? No, that's probably about the size couch that we want. So that extends the room up just a little bit more as well. So let's bring it out 2 more. The room keeps getting bigger to encompass all these details. When you do detail on this level, a friend of mine, Jesse, told me that that it's really hard to implement that type of level because everything looks so large, but that's what we do here in indoors. Okay, so the next one we would have a little ottoman here, and the ottoman would start probably about here, and it would be about that wide, and then it looks like underneath all of this is some sort of carpet, like a rug. Okay, so instead of raising up the entire floor level right here, what we should probably do is just change out the texture. I'm not sure what white texture I'm going to use for that. I guess wool would be the best. Now this wool is not from Soartex Fanware. I actually used the wool from Flows HD because it's a little bit more, I like the texture a little bit more. Alright, so it does extend past the couch is what it looks like. So let's go ahead and bring this out by 1 more. And it looks like there'll be spacing for the desk here is going to be even with, it looks like it starts at the front of here. So we're not gonna make it that deep. We're not gonna make it 4 deep. We're actually only gonna make it 2 deep. And this is gonna be kind of hard to pull off because it looks like it's metal legs on a glass table, which is, it's not realistic. You know, we can't really do that in Minecraft. So let's do something a little bit, what we could do here is a fence post, or 2 fence posts actually, and it could be 2 deep. Maybe we can do that. The type of fence post that we can use, there's really nothing that translates too well, so we can go with the birch, I suppose, because it's the closest to that color. And if we went too wide on either one, it looks like there it goes to the about the extent of the carpet. On the back side here, we would have the chair, so to speak, and on the top here, what could we use for a tabletop? It's going to have to be some sort of carpet, I suppose. So black would probably be the best choice for that, since it's a little bit dark, and naturally we can't put them all the way down here because we would need that. So I'm just going to either add some, I'm going to add some barrier blocks, but you can easily just add string. And let's see, give barrier. There we go. And now I have a few barriers that I can use, and there we go. So we'll just use the barriers as braces for the black carpet. And now the desk is kind of what you would see in there. Now the chair, if we place the chair in the middle, now this looks 5 wide, and this is actually, I wanted this to be 4. So if we place the, I think what we're gonna do is kind of come out here. We're gonna destroy these barrier blocks, take this, and this can't be a chair. And this is going to bring the room a little bit off center, which most of you would cringe and say, no, don't do that, but it is going to add some detail to the room, so it's important that I try to. Now for the office chair, it's going to be tied up against this wall a little bit, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this out by 1, which kind of throws the room dynamic off, but it's better than bringing the room out the other way because it's going to be much more noticeable with the 2 wide bookshelf than the 1. Okay, so if we brought out 1 more of these, and I don't know why it's still showing the barrier block there, and let's see, we did a pressure plate, which we can do, we can't, there's no black pressure plates, so I guess a weighted pressure plate is going to be the best choice. Let's put this in this backup inventory that I have here. And we'll put that there, and then we'll take an item frame and make the back of the chair. We could make the back of the chair, we could make the chair a little bit more lavish than this, but it's gonna work out honestly. So for the rest of the room, we're going to have to close in the sides and add some windows and stuff. And it looks like we could use a combination of white stained glass and maybe a white panel surrounded by a little bit of wood to do that center frame thing. So let's try a few things. Let's do the, I think we're going to do the spruce again, and we're going to surround this up just like so. And if we make the wall out, let's see. The wall, it looks like there's actually a white portion of the wall here, so this might not be, actually this would be correct, but this wouldn't. And then we would have to widen this up, and it looks like that actually might be 2, but that would leave a weird space for the window. Okay, fair enough. We'll do something a little bit different here. Okay, and then we're gonna go in by 1. That does, is that a divider or is it pushed out? Ah, I see what's going on here. It is actually pushed out. So if we did this portion just like that, it might get in the way of where this item frame is. I think we're just going to have to go with something a little bit less obvious. So let's figure this out first with the window. If we took it 3 and made this portion white, I guess I can grab white stained clay. That'll probably be the easiest deal. We'll do the white stained clay here. Actually, that's going to be a window. Let's make this white glass, shall we? White, and we'll do the stained glass here. And then we'll do just the white glass right here. And we'll bring that all the way up. And good. Okay, we're good. So that doesn't connect here, but we can make that connect pretty easy just by taking the spruce and bringing it up on this side. So now that I have that white, we're going to need something in the middle to separate it, which, I don't know how we're going to do that. We could go one further back here, just like so. I think that would probably be the best bet, honestly. If we brought it one further back, and if we brought the glass out just one more here and it just stops, that would probably be ideal, because that shows a little bit of the seam. Okay, so we could do that, and then, we could probably go a little bit less wide right here, but kind of do the same thing. It'll work in concept, I think. Okay, let's bring this down. Actually, yeah, we'll bring that down just like that, and then we'll add this portion of the wall here. And now this is going to be a frame. It's going to have to encompass the width of that. It has to be 5 because, or 6, because we have to be able to put the painting in the middle. And then we'll do this. And we're just going to have to put floor right here instead. There we go. And this portion will be white so that we can put a painting on it. Yeah, it pretty much goes all the way down. I think actually let's do the spruce right here and then the white for the rest of it. This is going to be that white backdrop. And we'll need a 4x4 painting, which is going to kind of cover up the white. I think it's going to cover up all the way actually, but we have to do it anyway just to be aesthetically or, you know, correct in our measurements or whatever. So let's add the 4x4 painting if I can ever get to it. Let me cut while this happens. Alright guys, I had to change up my spacing, and it does in fact hide all the white, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We can bring this out by 1 now, just like this, and the rest of the build would actually come out by 1 as well. Now honestly this should be windows, so we'll probably do that. And let's see, it comes out right here, so we would take the window out by here, and we could make it do it again, just like so. And this window would be a little bit smaller than this one, because this one is 3 and that one is 2. So if we brought this out by 1 more and just sealed it off right here, that would pretty much dictate the size of the room. Now we would have to bring our planks all the way out, just like so, for the floor. And we're going to have to enclose this wall as well. So I'm going to add some spruce to close this wall in. I'm going to add some spruce to close this wall in. We're going to make an entrance, hang a few paintings, and we should be done. Alright you guys, so I got the 4 walls up and I have a couple of windows that I installed along with a little entranceway just to show off some symmetry to the room. And I figured I would do like a little stand or something here, so let's just do maybe a few books here and we can do a little shelf here. And I think this is going to still be quite, I guess you could say quite barren. So if I did maybe another couch here, like, or a smaller seat, kind of like this for bench seating, and then I added, I guess we can add another window here or maybe some light. If I did a small table with maybe a lamp, that would be pretty good. So if I did this, and taking a half slab, I always want to say half slab, it's just a slab of dark oak wood here. We can do a little lamp on that table, and that would probably be good for what I need it for. And then this corner we can actually just do a little bit of plant feature here. So let's look for, let's see how acacia wood logs look. This looks quite different, so this should work. We could do that and add some oak bushes right on top, just like that. And for this lamp, we're going to do the traditional lamps that I like to do with armor stands here. So let's do an armor stand, a piston, we'll do redstone block, we'll do a glowstone lamp, and we'll do a, I guess that's going to be all we need. Okay, so we'll take the, I guess we can do boots of some sort. Let's do golden boots because that'll fit pretty well. So let's do the armor stand. Actually, we'll put it, yeah, we'll put it right here. We'll do the armor stand with the boots on top, or the boots on the bottom, and we'll put a glowstone lamp here, and we'll put a piston right on top. That's what I didn't grab. Piston. We'll put the piston on top and push that down. If I could get it to line up right. There we go. And we'll get it to push down. And then right behind that, we'll actually add redstone so it lights up. And there's our little desk lamp. We could do an item frame here with maybe a book. So we'll go with item frames. We'll do a book and quill. And we'll also do a painting. And with glowstone, and that should be good. And this will just be for light that's hidden. So we can add a little bit of hidden light, maybe, we can do hidden light here, maybe we could do a painting. So we'll just do a little 2x1 painting here. Or a 2x2 would actually work pretty well right there. Let's do a 2x2 if we can get one. The blue doesn't really work as well as the red would. I do have a red one that looks just like that. And any day now. The paintings, man. That's a little gloomy. Okay, that's fine for now. And let's see, we probably just need a couple things here. So let's go with the flower pots again. We can add a flower pot, and we can go with maybe what else can we add? We could add, the enchantment tables look a little bit funny for that. Let's see, we can maybe add, that would, a jukebox would be too big. Let's just go with a trapdoor, because that looks pretty interesting. So we'll put a trapdoor like, let's say here, just like that, and a flower pot right there. We'll select these dandelions for here. And sorry, my dog kept opening and closing the door. And right here we could just do a little carpet, I think. Let's go with carpet, and white should be fine. We'll do a little carpet. We'll just make it this wide. And I think that just brings the room together. This little corner looks like there should be something there. We could make this like maybe a standing lamp with anvils. So let's grab some anvils. We already have a glowstone here. So let's just place them like so. and we'll put this glowstone right on top. And I think that really brings the room together right there. That's probably all we need. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the little study. Next time we come back, we'll do another room on Minecraft Indoors. Thank y'all so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time. Bye.